All right, today we are diving into one of the weirdest, most mysterious, and honestly, most personal things Carl Jung ever wrote. We're not talking about your standard dream analysis or archetypes here. No, we're going way deeper into a strange, mystical text he wrote back in 1916 called The Seven Sermons to the Dead.
And that's how it begins. No warm up, no hello, just boom. This haunting line that just throws you right into the deep end. So, the dead have come back, and they're looking for answers they couldn't find. This immediately sets the stage for something really unusual. A sermon that isn't for us, the living, but for souls who are, lost somewhere in between. So, what even is this thing? Well, back in 1916, Jung was going through this really intense period. He said his house literally felt full of spirits. He felt this overwhelming compulsion to just write, and what poured out was this text. He framed it as a teaching, a lesson he was giving to these restless souls. It's this wild, Gnostic, almost channeled message that lays out a completely radical vision of the cosmos. Okay, so to get what he's talking about, you first have to understand the two basic states of being that Jung lays out. Seriously, everything that comes next is built on the difference between these two cosmic ideas, the pleroma and the creatura. First up, we've got the pleroma. Now, try to imagine an infinite, eternal nothingness that is also completely full. Jung says in the pleroma, full is no better than empty. Think of it like a primordial soup of pure potential, where everything and its absolute opposite exist all at once, and they just cancel each other out. It doesn't have any qualities because it has every quality. And then, well, then there's us. We are creature. A created being is anything that's pulled out and made separate from that infinite pleroma. We are defined by our qualities, right? By our boundaries, by the fact that we exist in time and space. To be a creature is to be something specific, instead of being everything and nothing all at once. So you can see the big split here, right? The pleroma is boundless. It's one giant whole. But creatura, that's us, we're finite and we're distinct. Our very nature, the whole point of our being, is this separateness. Jung even gave it a fancy name, the principium individuationis, the principle of being an individual. But here's the catch. This whole act of being a distinct creature, it creates a massive problem. The moment we're separated from the unified whole of the pleroma, we're suddenly thrown into a world that is completely defined by division. Because we're creatura, this is the only way we can see the world, through these pairs of opposites. For us, good is the enemy of evil. Light fights against darkness. We see them as these totally separate warring forces. But remember, back in the pleroma, they're all just one and the same thing. And this leads to a huge paradox. The sermon warns us that if we try to chase only one side of an opposite, if we're only going after what's good and beautiful, we forget what we are. 'Cause see, good and evil are two sides of the exact same coin. If you chase one, you are absolutely dragging the other one right behind it. You just can't have one without the other. So the goal isn't to become pure by picking a side. No, the greatest spiritual danger is actually losing our distinctiveness, our individuality, and just dissolving back into that undifferentiated soup of the pleroma. That, according to Jung, is the death of the creature. The whole point is to hold the tension of the opposites within you. And this is where things get really wild. Think about it. If God represents all the good stuff and the devil represents all the evil stuff, and we just learn they're basically a package deal, then what in the world is the force that stands above them both, containing them both? This is the question that the sermon slams down in front of the dead and in front of us. What do you call the thing that is both creator and destroyer, both holy and profane at the exact same moment? The answer is Abraxas. Jung reaches back into history and pulls out this ancient Gnostic deity to represent this ultimate, terrifying union of opposites. Abraxas isn't good or evil. It's the raw, untamed, chaotic force of reality itself, and it's way beyond our tiny little definitions. And that right there is its nature. See, Abraxas isn't some god of life fighting a devil of death. Abraxas is life and death. They happen in the same breath, in the same word. It's this sublime and absolutely terrifying power that gives birth to the universe and eats it at the same time. The sermon just keeps hitting you with these mind-bending paradoxes. It's love and it's the murder of love. It's the saint and the one who betrays him. It's the brightest daylight and the deepest madness. It's the totality of everything, the beautiful and the monstrous, all wrapped up into one. It's the engine of reality in all its messy, contradictory glory.
So, what are you supposed to do with a concept this terrifying? Well, the sermon gives a pretty stark warning. If you try to just think your way through it, it'll make you sick, drive you crazy. If you worship it like some normal god, you'll be destroyed, you'll dissolve. The only way out, the only path to redemption, is to just accept it, to stop fighting the fundamental nature of reality. Now, for the final sermon, Jung does something brilliant. He takes this huge cosmic drama we've been talking about, the Pleroma, Abraxas, all of it, and he brings it right down to a deeply personal psychological level. I mean, what does any of this have to do with you and me, right? And here is the final revelation. This whole cosmic map, it's not just out there in space. It's actually a map of the human mind. Each and every one of us, you and me, we are the gateway where that vast outer world of gods and demons enters the inner world of our own consciousness. And this is the absolute key takeaway. Inside our own inner universe, we are Abracox. You are Abracax. Each of us holds that divine and demonic power to create and to destroy our own reality, our own personal world made of thoughts and beliefs and feelings. So the final instruction Jung gives the dead is this: your ultimate spiritual journey isn't to get lost in all this inner chaos of opposites. It's to find a single guiding point of consciousness, your own unique center, what he calls your one guiding star, that can navigate the totality of who you are without being ripped apart by it. And that just leaves us with this one final, really provocative question. What if true wholeness, what Jung would later call individuation, isn't about trying to be only good, or only pure, or only light? What if it's really about having the incredible courage to embrace everything you are, the light, the dark, the saint, and yes, even the betrayer inside you?